Hola! So the other day, I went to this rock show. It was more like a battle of the bands, but still, a rock show. My friend and I decided to show up just around the time that the band that we were there to see was going to go on because we weren't sure what kind of music the other bands were playing. And I'm not much of a hardcore band person, so we figured that was the best scenario. We know most of these people from my school, so it was kind of awkward because it was like an AMDA reunion. AMDA being my school, the American Musical and Dramatic Academy, Los Angeles. We're all hanging around, we're hugging each other, and one of our friends says, hey, so our band doesn't go on until a band after this one. And there's a band setting up. So we figure, great, we didn't show up right when the band started. Oh well, we have to listen to another band. We're musical theater students. We like music. So the band sets up and everybody starts moving in. You can tell who the fans are that are there for that band. And they're all scooting in towards the front of the stage. It was in this little like coffee house thing, so it was really little. And there wasn't much room for anybody. And this is when my observations began. Because the band started playing, and it wasn't really our brand of music, if you will. They were screaming. Now, no offense if you like screaming, because everybody's allowed to have their own taste. But when you're in a tiny room that's like this big, you're like in a room that's like this big, and the music is so loud that you feel like you should plug your ears because you feel like your eardrums are gonna fall out, but you feel like if you plug your ears, you're being rude, and so you don't want to plug your ears, and you're just kind of standing there and you're like, Meanwhile, me and Taylor and I are like, So a song stops, and of course, there's like 8 songs, right? Figures. So this is when I made my observation about people who go to rock shows. There are about 4 or 5 different types of people. There are the people in the front who are the fans of the band, who love rock music and love getting down and dirty, and they're butting each other upside the head, and they're jumping on top of each other, and they love being right underneath the spit and the sweat of the performer. Those are the mosher people. We're going to call them the moshers. And there's the people behind them who are kind of standing there and they're doing this thing, body moshing to the music, but they don't really want to get underneath the sweat and the rain of the spit of the person in the front, right? So they're the body moshers behind the moshers. Behind the body moshers are the people that we will call, these are the people that we will call the head moshers, because they aren't just bobbing their head, they're like bobbing their head, like listening to the freaking music, they love that music, but they don't really want to move the rest of their body, maybe a little bit of the shoulder action, and they don't want to get up in underneath the spit and the sweat of the performer. And then behind the head moshers, they are the head bobbers. People who aren't quite sure why they're there, but they kind of like the music, but they aren't really as hardcore as the rest of everybody else. So they kind of stand there and they're like, yeah, this music is kind of good, kind of loud. Still feel like I should plug my ears because my ears are gonna fall off. But we're gonna bob our head, yeah. So then there's the head bobbers, and then behind the head bobbers are the people like Taylor and I. We stand there, and you look over at your friend and you're like, oh, dear God. It's so loud in here. And then, but to talk to somebody, that's another thing. You talk to somebody and you're like, hey, it's so loud in here. And they're like, what are you saying? So then you have to get this close to talk into their ear and be like, it's loud in here. And your other friend's like, oh yeah, it's loud. And you're like, what? And it just is like an ongoing thing. And then at this particular rock show, there was this there's always one of those old creepy men, because it was at like this bar. So there was like this old creepy man, and he like had his drink has his drink, and he's like, got this straw in his mouth. And I kid you not, he didn't do it to me, but the girl was right in front of me, and she's a friend of mine from school. But he was like, with his drink in his hand, and he's like, hey, we're at this show, and I'm at this show, we're at this show. Because there's the moshers in the front, they're like, yeah, I love the spit and the sweat and the blood that I'm getting from hitting all these people, and it's so much fun, and the spit and the sweat on my face from my performer that's in front of me. And then there's the people behind them that are like, yeah, this music is freaking awesome, but I don't want to get all messed up and spit on up there. And then there's the people behind them that are like, yeah, this music is kind of cool. Yeah, this music is cool. I love this music. And then there's the people behind them that are like, yeah, I don't really know why I'm here, but I don't want to look stupid, so I'm gonna bob my head. I'm gonna bob my head and move a little bit from side to side. Yeah, they're pretty cool. And then there's the people behind them that are like,